Hi everyone! Since I'm always listening to music, watching TV shows, movies, animes, and reading books when I can, I would like to share all these discoveries and give my opinion about them, whether I found these things good or bad. So let's start this culture recap of September.
Let's go.
I tried to watch a lot of shows this month, but I didn't finish them for multiple reasons. They were boring, interesting, and boring at the same time, or traumatizing. But there are exceptions. First, season 2 of Blood and Water. I was waiting for this one since I liked the first season, and I'm happy to watch a show that takes place in South Africa. As an African myself, I'm always happy to find out that Netflix, Prime Video, or any streaming platform has produced shows or movies on the continent. But I have to admit that I was disappointed by the show. There were so many subplots and multiple back and forths, and I lost interest. That's the classic formula of teen series. The main storyline around a murder or a mystery is neglected until the last episodes, where we've got to see a big cliffhanger. I don't mind subplots if the characters are interesting enough or if it covers a deep problem, but that wasn't the case here. I like the storyline about Reese with a mother who needs to go to rehab, but it wasn't truly well executed. Also, at some point, I got confused about the parents and how they were involved in the kidnapping of Pulang's sister. And about Pulang. Long story short, I'm tired of main characters who are always asking for help and services, especially when it comes to her best friend who's in love with her since day one, and she knows that. Fix, on the other side, was a little bit in the shadow and spent half of the season saying to Pulang that she doesn't want to work with her. I wish she had more screen time and impact. I may watch the season 3 if it comes out, but that's it. I watched Midnight Mass, the most recent work of Mike Flanagan. I don't see myself as an absolute fan of his work, but I kinda like it. The Haunting of Hill House is one of my favorite shows of all time. Bly Manor was heartwarming and interesting, Hush was okay, so I had some expectations for this show. Unfortunately, it didn't meet them. I'm not saying it is bad, but it is more like meh. I was expecting to see a scary show carried by characters with a lot of layers. It was indeed scary, at least for me, since I'm always disturbed by the religious themed horror productions, but the characters, well. The cast is good, but their personal stories lack of impact. Maybe it's because the way they are showing their stories? Like the discussion between Riley and Erin felt like a documentary. While in Hill House, for instance, we see the characters going through their traumas and living hard times. Also, I found the show really predictable. I mean, when the mother of Doctor called the new priest John, I told myself, okay, that's him. He's younger, but that's him. And it's the kind of the clue that isn't really subtle in this kind of production. You can also guess easily that everyone, or almost everyone, is going to die by the end. But the show made some points sometimes. Some shots are pretty, I like the atmosphere of the island, the sound design was on point when it needs to. So I watched Dune 2 times, and I have to tell that I didn't know anything about the books before watching the movie, even if I went with people who read all of them. But I was so impressed, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to see it in the cinema, not behind my computer on a random platform. The visuals and the music were phenomenal, and I was captivated by what I was seeing. Except at the end of the movie, because I thought, oh, that's the end, like 3 times in a row. The story was great, and I liked the performance of Chalamet as Paul. I was happy to see that he's not an ignorant around politics, seemed deeply concerned about the fate of the Fremen, and that, at least at this point of the movie, he doesn't want to become an oppressive leader. I loved the performance of Rebecca Ferguson, and I think she was the most impressive among the cast. You can truly feel her fears and worries, while being impressed by her strength when she was in danger. I don't think we can really judge Zendaya's performance as Shani, since we saw her less than 10 minutes. About that, I think it was a mistake to promote the movie through her and her duo with Salvi. I bet that a lot of fans were disappointed by the amount of screen time she had. But the true problem I have with Dune is the lack of Arabic representation. I deeply care about this topic since I am Arab myself. It feels like they made some efforts to create a real Arabic atmosphere since the movie was shot in the Emirates, there's this whole aesthetic, but when it comes to the cast, they stop everything. I'm expected to see a part 2 with lots of Arabic actors. Maybe we'll see people like Kingsley Benadir, or even new actors and faces from North Africa. I also need to talk about Respect because that was the most interesting biopic I've seen in a while. I wanted to see a beautiful movie about Aretha Franklin, therefore with a good soundtrack. and I've got so much more. Jennifer Hudson's performance is so convincing, especially when she's portraying the hard times Aretha Franklin went through. From what I read, the movie sticks with what happened with her family, lovers, and the labels she signed with. It's so rare to see this kind of behind the scenes of an artist, starting with the negotiation for the contract, to the choice of musicians, the preparation for a tour, and so on. And Aretha Franklin had to face all of that with this particular context of civil rights movement. The movie established so well the link between her fight to be recognized and successful with the systemic oppression black people are facing. In my opinion, we cannot separate art from politics in the sense that most of the artists are bringing a strong message about their identity and can bring something to the fight. Obviously, there are a lot of artists being involved in political issues even if they don't want to, or artists that doesn't want to pick a side, and that's perfectly fine. But I have to admit that I admire icons like Aretha Franklin for using their fame to bring the spotlight on an important cause. And the real force of the movie Respect is that everything was so emotionally intense. We went through her from supporting Angela Davis to a fight with her entire family, her manager, lover, we don't know his role, but that's fine. And I cried a lot because of that. Please go watch the movie if you can, but be prepared to see something strong. I've listened to the album of Shang-Chi produced by 88 Rising. I was so happy to see that the DPR crew was in it and worked on this song. In a way, this song reminds me Get Lucky from Daft Punk or the C2C song called Down the Road. In other words, the kind of song that makes you instantly happy wherever your mood was before. We can hear that they are having fun when singing the song and it fits well with the overall vibe of Shang-Chi. Even if it's not the song of the year, I wanted to highlight the ability of the DPR crew to always push boundaries between different genres. I'm glad that they are rising slowly but surely, and I'm looking forward to the next song that we pull out. Then, as a lot of League of Legends enthusiasts, I was looking forward to the Song of the World Championship. We've got Burn It All Down featuring Pyrrhus. I'm going to be honest and didn't like the song. The music video itself is impressive, since it transitioned from 2D to 3D, iconic players are there, and I'm sure it means a lot to the players and the fan of the game. But the song itself is so underwhelming. To be honest, for every word song, I feel like few twists in the instrumental and high notes or a deep one will allow the song to be mind-blowing, but they missed the opportunity this time again. Also, I think it was disappointing to see that True Damage didn't have a comeback this year, was all waiting for it. But I guess I have to wait a bit more. Finally, as you may have guessed with my previous video, I like CL and I was looking forward to Lover Like Me, and I absolutely love this song, because it reminds me of the In the Name of Love vibe I fell in love with. The song highlights her vocal abilities and her rap on the bridge was on point. The pre-chorus blows my mind every time I hear it because her voice is just so satisfying. The music video is amazing thanks to the incredible outfit she wears and her natural charisma, of course. I adore the shot with the sunflowers, especially now I know that that was the favorite flowers of her mother, who passed away in January. Please check the song and her upcoming album Alpha will be out in like 2 weeks. Whoa! I also wanted to add songs that I randomly found on Spotify and that I liked after first listen, whenever they were released. First, we have Honey No Estas by Bratty. She's a young indie artist from Mexico and her albums are truly great. Honey No Estas in particular is a song about a lover who's not around anymore, but she still cares about him. Even if the lyrics are quite generic, her voice makes me so soft. It is exactly what I like to listen to during September on my way to uni. Then we have Sharaf by Blue Fever Fit Mahrak, released in July 2019, I think. So Blue Fever is half Mexican, half Lebanese, and the song is in Arabic. Sharaf is the kind of song when Western indie pop meets Arabic R&B, which is why it has found its place on my playlist. The lyrics in the music video let me think that she wants to show a fierce generation of young Arabic artists who want to make a change in their society. Bahrak, the Palestinian rapper featured in the song, bring his trend to the song with two convincing verses. I hope that both of them will gain some recognition in the future. And that concludes this video. I hope you will like my reviews. Please let me know what you think of this format, and if you watch any of the show or movie I mentioned, or maybe listen to the music, feel free to comment. See you next time!